They can be used in the public interest. I'd be intrigued to hear the answer on that point.
Mr. Chairman.
I call the Honourable Minister Bill English.
Mr. Chairman, can I acknowledge the member's perceptive and considered approach to the earthquake issues, and I've listened to his media comments and found them helpful, actually. And I think of the non-government parties in Christchurch, the Greens again are marking out a more considered approach to issues than perhaps some others. To deal with the member's question, and it was raised initially around the dollar amounts by Stuart Nash, the numbers are basically a guess. That we needed to get some cash to enable Sarah to get on with the job, but in acknowledgement of the process of getting supply from Parliament, not exploit that opportunity by trying to appropriate a large amount of money for which we could not provide strong rationale. So the number is a guess at the amount that might be required simply to tide over the operation until the full budget process is completed. The member puts his finger on a absolutely central issue to the progress of the rebuild, and that is, on the one hand, trying to get the right balance between the need to build confidence by getting things going, which initially has been a role that's fallen largely to the government, working alongside the council, on the one hand, but on the other hand, not ensuring that taxpayers don't take on all the responsibilities. So it is conceivable that an owner of a building in the middle of Christchurch with a complex situation may prefer the government to pay for the demolition of their building, either because they're just not in a psychological state to make decisions, or they can't get their bank and their insurer and the tenants and the next door neighbours all lined up, because it is a bit of a complicated process. And there is a risk that if the government, there's a risk that owners will simply hand all those responsibilities to government. And of course that wouldn't be appropriate. They've got to take the risks that go with ownership of property, including when events that they are insured against actually occur. So there isn't an easy and obvious answer to it, but I think we're going to work out in the sort of pragmatic Kiwi way through the planning process just what that balance might be. In the end, the member, I think, is quite right that the purpose of getting on with the demolition that's financed by these appropriations is to build the kind of confidence that will encourage and enable private investors to put their capital in, because ultimately that's what will decide the fate of Christchurch. The vision of the community is a necessary step. The competence of the council is another necessary step. And then someone has to actually put up the capital to build the buildings according to both their objectives and those objectives that are set out by the plan. Will it be enough? I'd be very surprised if it is, but it's certainly enough to tide us over.
The question is that the amendment to Schedule 1 to the item relating to Vote Canterbury earthquake recovery set out on SOP number 246 be agreed to. As many of that opinion will please say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question is that Schedule 1, as amended, stand par. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, I will report this bill with amendment.
I better put my stuff on my...
Members, the House is resumed. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, Mr Speaker, the committee has considered the Appropriations 2010-2011 Supplementary Estimates Bill and reports it with amendment. Mr Speaker, I move that the report be adopted.
The question is that the report be adopted. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The bill is set down for third reading forthwith. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Appropriation